A girl named Akane Kinoshita and a guy named Takuma Furukawa are sitting in a cafe. Takuma says he is breaking up with a girl because he found another one in an online game. Akane just smiles sweetly, suspecting the guy's cooled feelings for a long time. At home, she tells her friend Momoko Mida about what happened. At this time, the guy deleted her from friends and asked her to return the donated equipment in the game. Momoko says that breaking up with such a person was the right decision and advises that the girl forget him as soon as possible. Akane is left alone and decides to log into the game to return the items. She's annoyed that she spent money on the game because of a guy. The girl also decides to vent her anger at the mobs when a player with an afro hairstyle approaches her. It turns out to be a guy named Akito Yamada, with whom she is in the same guild. She talks about the breakup of a relationship. He replies that he wants to find a rare thing and asks to give up the hunting area. The girl is angry that the guy does not care about other people's problems and writes to him in an aggressive form that she will not give up her place. Calming down, she sees an invitation to an event dedicated to the game. She is thinking about whether her ex-boyfriend will be present at the event. The next day, she meets with Momoko and offers to go shopping, as she is going to go to an event and show her ex-boyfriend what he missed. After shopping in beauty salons, Akane is finally at the event. When she sees Takuma with a new girl, she runs to them. But she bumps into a guy, after which she falls and loses her shoe, ready to burst into tears. The guy she bumped into held out a shoe and asked about the girl's affairs. She is amazed by the beauty and says that difficulties are happening in her life, which is why she did not look around. But the guy says it's not interesting and leaves. The girl recognized the manner of communication and asks that he was Akito Yamada. Suddenly, they hear a scream from Takuma, who asks about the presence of a human. Akane pretends that they met by chance. However, Takuma completely ignores her and idolizes Yamada, whose work he follows. Akane uses the information and says that Yamada is her new boyfriend. She tearfully asks to play along with her, giving her the code to get a rare item. Takuma is getting desperate, as he is an ardent Yamada fan. But the guy is quickly calmed down by his girlfriend. Already at the bar, Akane believes that despite hurting her ex-boyfriend, she's still lost. Yamada asks to be allowed to go home, as it has nothing to do with him. But the girl tearfully says that there is nothing difficult just to sit next to a heartbroken girl. She admires Takuma's new girlfriend. Yamada doesn't understand who Takuma is. She recalls that she talked about it in the chat. He remembers her and asks to order more soda, realizing that they are here for a long time. She finds out that he is being paid by sponsors to play. She says that he communicates distantly and no girl would want to date him. The guy admits that he has never had a relationship, but he doesn't care. He believes that there is no point in a relationship and the girl agrees with him. She goes to the bathroom, but when she returns, she sees that the guy is not there. She is ready to burst into tears that she was abandoned again. But Yamada stood behind her and left to buy band-aids. He stuck on a band-aid, which touched the girl. The next morning, she wakes up with a terrible hangover from a man's voice. She sees that she is not in her room, as well as Yamada sitting at the computer. Akane jumps out of bed when the guy starts approaching her. She worries that something wrong happened last night, but the guy calms her down. He tells her that she passed out and he brought her to his place. She apologizes profoundly to him, but the guy keeps telling her that she threw up on her clothes, which he washed afterwards. He also paid her bill. She promises to repay him, but he says it's enough to just leave. She returns home and takes a bath to forget about what happened. During the massage, she notices that there is no necklace. She searches the whole house and assumes that she left it at Yamada's. She enters the game, where she is greeted by Ruheim, the head of the guild. However, the guy is not online. The girl is in tears, as the necklace is a gift from Takuma. Akane tells Ruheim about the problems in her life and her friend tries to support her. At this time, Yamada enters the game and the girl offers to help her support Akane. Akane decides to write to him in private messages about the necklace, but the guy replies that he did not find anything. In the general chat, he writes that the guild warehouse is overflowing with unnecessary things in a rather straightforward and rude way. Akane admits that she is the one who brings things. Yamada writes that the girl should bring only useful things. The head of the guild scolds the guy for rude communication with newcomers. Akane breaks down and quits the game. Yamada also quits the game and discovers the girl's broken necklace under her foot. The girl is angry at the guy, and then she has a dream that Takuma gives her a gift containing his new girlfriend. She tells Momoko about it, but her friend is clearly not keen on stories about her ex. She says she's more interested in the guy Akane spent the night with. Akane says she is still worried about the lost necklace. However, a friend says that it is strange to cherish gifts from a man who abandoned her and did not act particularly well with a girl while in a relationship. Returning home, Akane hears how the schoolgirls are trying to confess their love to a tall, handsome guy who did not listen to them. She recognized him as Yamada. She tells him that he should have listened to the declaration of love. However, the guy did not even realize that he was being confessed. From the conversation, she learns that he studies at a prestigious school, and she also understands why he only drank soda. He handed her a handkerchief with a necklace, apologizing for breaking it. She says she was going to throw it away anyway. On the street, she says goodbye to him, running in the rain. However, the guy runs after her and gives her an umbrella, saying that it does not need to be returned. The next day, she continues to think about Yamada's act, clutching the broken necklace. Suddenly, the doorbell rang and a bunch of boxes were brought in, which my mother had sent. Akane tells Momoko about this and asks for help. A friend offers to throw everything away, but Akane can't do that with things because they are dear to her. Momoko also finds a broken necklace and an umbrella. Akane remembers a conversation with Yamada and decides to throw the jewelry away. The girl says that she will become more picky, and therefore she will throw everything away. She takes everything to the trash, leaving a teddy bear. Later in the evening, they come to Yamada's to give away the umbrella. The annoyed guy reminds me that he asked not to return the umbrella. Akane says she remembers about the umbrella, but she wanted to thank her for helping her not to cry at the last event. Akane picks up his girlfriend and is about to leave. Before she leaves, the guy says that the head of the guild is worried. Akane promises that he will enter the game as soon as he returns home, and they say goodbye. Later, Akane and his girlfriend are sitting on a group date. A guy is hitting on a girl, but she is not interested in him at all. She tells Momoko with a look that she doesn't want to be here anymore. On the street, a friend says that she ruined a great date by sitting on the phone. Akane reveals that she is texting with Ruraheim, the cute girl from the game. Momoko says it's not worth trusting and sharing contacts with people she doesn't know personally. They part ways, and Akane thinks about the fact that she never doubted that she was communicating with a girl. She thinks about how she might look in life and notices a girl whose style is similar to Ruraheim. Later, she enters the game thinking that she is not ready for a relationship. She notices that Yamada and Ruraheim are texting each other. They are discussing the fact that no one else has entered the game today, which looks like the beginning of the creation of the guild. Akane hesitates to join them, but she is noticed and welcomed. Yamada quits the game, having agreed with Ruraheim to call later. Akane thinks that the guy mostly communicates only with Ruraheim and assumes that they are dating. These thoughts upset the girl. Later, while studying, the girl sits on the phone to look at the guy's account. After class, a guy from a group date catches up with her, making an attempt to get closer to the girl. He talks about his trip together with friends and invites the girl to join. But his attention is drawn to Yamada with a strange girl. She tells the guy that it's a good idea, but she needs to go. The thought that this is his girlfriend makes her uneasy. Lying in bed, the girl looks at her laptop, but decides that she does not want to play today. Suddenly, she receives a message from the head of the guild. He informs us that a cafe is opening and invites everyone to gather. The next morning, she receives a message saying that Ruraheim can't wait for today's meeting. She reports the meeting to Momoko. The friend worries about the girl's safety, but calms down after learning that Yamada will be there. The girl tries to navigate by the cards, but she does not succeed. A guy bumps into her, causing the phone to fly out of her hands. He picks up and sees that they need to go to the same place. She worries that she trusts a stranger to escort her. However, based on the conversation with him, she understands that he is an ordinary gamer. Akane notices the girl, as well as Yamada, to whom he runs to greet her. A girl takes his hand, so she doesn't understand what Akane is doing here. She greets her, thinking that she is the same Ruraheim, but the girl doesn't react. Then they sit in a cafe. Akane feels a little uncomfortable, because she does not know the men sitting next to her, asking the girl about them. She replies that they are Sigildians and asks in response who she is. She also adds that she is not Ruraheim. A guy named Ida Sasaki finally introduces himself completely, adding that he is actually Ruraheim. He explains that the character embodies his feminine ideal, but Akane is mad at him because she entrusted him with the phone and asked for advice. An old man takes Kamoda is also getting to know a girl. He says that Ida took the prototype from Runa Sasaki, the guy's sister. Runa herself finds it disgusting. He also introduced Yamada, but since Akane is already familiar with him, he did not talk about him in detail. Runa begins to get angry that the two are familiar and begins to sort out the relationship between them. Akane says they met at an event. Next, she and Yamada exchanged words about his relationship with Ida since the girl thought they were dating. He replies that he is lying about the relationship, which the girl is happy about. Runa is trying with renewed vigor to achieve that between the two of them and asks if she is in love with Yamada. Ida covers her mouth, apologizing for her sister. Akane thinks about her question and seeing Yamada's gaze, a glass slips out of her hands. She wants to remove the shards, but Yamada removes her hand as she is worried that the girl will get hurt. He suggests that the staff remove the fragments. The girl turns away from him, trying to hide her embarrassment. Yamada decides to go outside, referring to the fact that he needs to make a phone call, and Ida leaves after him. Taksu decides to talk to the girl, which makes her feel better. At this time, on the street, Ida asks about the reason for the lies. Yamada replies that he felt an evil aura from the girl, believing that she did not want to see him. His friend says that the girl just felt ashamed and he had nothing to worry about. Ida also adds that Akane is very beautiful, unlike her character. Later, the guys are happy with the time they spent and decide to start splitting up. Runa promises himself that he will force Akane to leave their guild. Next, Akane and Yamada go home as they are on their way. She tried to maintain a dialogue with him, but the guy answered her dryly. The train shook and she fell on it. He swapped places with her so that she wouldn't fall anymore. She makes another attempt to strike up a conversation, asking what he will have for dinner. He replies that it's only pudding and he's not lying. From the conversation, she learns that he lives alone and buys ready-made food. The girl is worried about his nutrition and asks him to wait for her here. She rushes home and pulls out a bunch of containers. She runs back to where her boyfriend is dutifully waiting for her. She listed the contents in the containers to him and forcibly asks him to accept it. Suddenly her phone rings. On the other end of the line, Runa says she is being asked to apologize for her behavior. She adds that she wants to get to know the girl better and offers to meet on Sere. Akane gladly accepts the invitation and then tells Yamada about it. Later, he returns home and checks the schedule. He has a tutoring appointment with Runa, which seems strange to him. On Sere, Ida calls Yamada and reminds him that he has tutoring. Yamada is surprised that the schedule has not changed. Meanwhile, Akane is sitting with some man who confesses his love to her, considering her to be Ruihime. Akane tries to explain that this is a misunderstanding, but the man in the suit is not listening to her. She receives a message from Runa, who writes that she will be late and offers to start without her. The girl becomes uncomfortable and she goes to the bathroom and locks herself in one of the booths. At this time, Yamada comes to Runa. He asks if she should be somewhere else right now, but she replies that she didn't plan anything for that day. Akane tries to call Runa, but she doesn't answer the phone. Suddenly, that man starts breaking into Akane, which scares the girl a lot. Runa says that she made an appointment with a stranger through her brother's account. Yamada tells Ida about this and together they find out through the computer where the meeting is taking place. Runa looks through old photos, where only the four of them and all the attention is turned to her. They are joined by Taksu, who is very worried about Akane's safety. On the way, Ida says that Runa should apologize to the girl. However, she disagrees with this, saying that Akane was accepted into the guild without her knowledge. Ida says that you can't be so angry, because Akane wanted to make friends with her. They get to the right place. First of all, Taksu runs to the girl to make sure of her safety and separates her from the stranger. Yamada notices the bandage on her leg and asks what happened. The stranger replies that it's his fault, he scared her so much in the women's bathroom. To which Ida asks for an explanation. He says that he was worried about her well-being and offered her painkillers, which caused the girl to hit the toilet. Yamada apologizes for not saying earlier that he had tutoring with Runa that day. However, Akane pretends that nothing bad happened and replies that he now understands why Runa couldn't come. They notice a girl standing in the distance, who is unhappy that her plan has failed and begins to run away. Ida takes her sister's hand and intends to have a serious conversation with her. Akane starts complaining that now she has a stomach ache and asks everyone to go to the pharmacy to buy strong painkillers, and Runa asks to stay. Left alone, Akane decides to talk about neutral topics. Runa is annoyed that Akane is acting like nothing happened. She admits that she deliberately framed the girl, as she wanted to expel the girl from the circle of promise. Akane says that Ida will tell you off better for your behavior. She adds that she came to the meeting today to make friends with her, as she likes being in their guild. Runa understands that she did wrong and wholeheartedly asks for forgiveness. At this time, the guys are already returning with the medicine and see how Akane is taking care of Runa. The girl says that the pain went away thanks to Runa. Runa grew up as a princess thanks to the love of her parents and brother. She plays games, she has a lot of friends online, and she hates change. She has problems at school because the guys don't know how to be friends with her. However, Runa does not care about this because there are friends on the internet. She notices the strange dancing of her classmates and writes about it to her friends. Friends wrote to her to join them and not to watch from the sidelines. But the girl is too afraid to take the first step. But Runa became friends with Akane despite the age difference and dislike of everything new. She told about the strange dance of classmates and other things that happened at school. Akane doesn't treat her like a princess. Runa gets angry because Akane gets distracted by Momoko's messages when she's around. After that, Akane points to a celebrity who is nearby and takes Runa with him to see live. They notice people dancing. Akane offers to show the dance. Runa refuses, but corrects the girl's movements, showing how to move. Later, the girls sit together and Momoko complains about the absence of a boyfriend. However, the girls do not listen to her at all while playing the game. Momoko asks about Akane's confidence to spend the weekend playing with her child. Runa is offended that she is considered a child and offers the girl to leave if she does not like something, to which she receives a request to shut up. The guy just came into the game and Akane showed off her new shoes. He said that she had used the wrong resources and offered to give away the old equipment. The girl refuses to help as she is going to do it on her own. Momoko says she doesn't understand anything about games and computers. At her touch, the girl's laptop breaks down and begins to smoke. In the evening, Runa tells his brother about it. The next day, Akane is tearfully reading technology magazines when a call is issued. She opens the door and finds Yamada and Runa behind it. Last night, the guy got a call from Ida and asked if he had an unwanted laptop. After learning that the girl had problems, the guy began to listen more attentively. He agreed to fix the laptop, and Runa escorted him to the girl's apartment. While the guy was sorting out the laptop, Akane prepared a snack for everyone. Runa watched the interaction of the two, after which she sent a photo to her brother. Ida gave the command to bring them closer, which Runa did, starting to think about a plan. Later, Runa tried to push the two guys in the bathroom, but they refused the offer to wash up. Runa can't stand it and pushes Akane at the guy, which is why both hit. Akane is angry at the girl because of her behavior and accidentally gets her hair in the guy's eye. She wants to check if he's okay, but both freeze from intimacy. She apologizes and hurries to remove her hair, but the guy leaves. He says that everything is fine and he just needs tools. Yamada at this time remembered a girl from childhood who was bullied at school. He buys the necessary tools and before leaving, the cashier tries to talk to him. But the guy replies that he doesn't have time for this right now. He also sees no reason to talk to her. When he returns, he notices the silence in the apartment. He notices a portion for him as well as the sleeping girls after lunch. The guy gets back to work, trying not to make any noise. Even dropping the tools doesn't wake Akane up. He looked at the girl and noticed her gathered hair. He decided to let down her hair, admiring her cute appearance. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. Takuma, the girl's ex, turns out to be outside the door. Takuma is shocked to see his idol. He asks for specifics about Akane and Yamada's relationship. However, Takuma remembers that the girl likes to show off and switches to admiration from meeting her idol. After that, he remembered that he wanted to return the containers, which had accumulated a lot at the time of their relationship. Yamada says that the guy wants to find out how Akane is doing in order to find peace of mind and therefore is looking for a reason to meet with her. When the guy leaves, Akane looks out. Yamada hands her the packages with the containers, saying that they appeared by magic. She laughs at how seriously the guy says it, knowing perfectly well where the containers came from. Once inside, he hands over her hairpin. Akane got nervous that she didn't notice how she dropped the hairpin, but the guy said that he removed the hairpin from her hair himself, although he does not know why he did so. A few days later, Akane gets a job at a convenience store on a part-time basis to pay for spare parts to fix a laptop. After that, she tells her friend about getting a job and fixing her laptop. Momoko supports the goal of thanking friends for helping with the repair. The girlfriend continues to be happy to find a boyfriend on group dates, but keeps failing. Akane supports her friend, but she doubts that it is possible to purposefully find a partner. Therefore, Akane decides to play a little game where he finally gets to know Takezu in the game. His character is in the form of a small cloud that becomes gigantic when fighting a boss. Akane decides to ask about money for laptop parts. Ida replies that it's a secret that he won't give away. Takezu suggests paying for spare parts in another way instead. A cultural festival should be held at the school where Yamada studies. Yamada takes out the trash while talking to his classmate Takeki Okamoto about the popularity of the guy. Confirming the words of a classmate, the girls from his class call out to the guy. Yamada comes to class and sees his phone lying on a towel. Yukari Tsubaki, his classmate with glasses and two ponytails, explains that she was hampered by vibration, so she covered the phone. The day of the school festival begins, where Yamada studies and all the guild members come to have a good time. Akane offers to buy something for Runa, but the girl refuses. Takezu explains that Runa is worried about the entrance exams and together they try to support the girl. Next, Runa complains of sudden abdominal pain due to stress and Akane takes the girl to the bathroom. Akane receives a message from Ida that they will get together soon. Akane thinks of writing Yamada, but is afraid that he is imposing on the guy. Suddenly, the boxes in the hallway fall and she sees Yamada, who comes to move them to the office. She holds out her hand in greeting, but takes it away because she doesn't want to distract. However, the guy goes to the girl himself to talk. She talks about Runa's problems and together they take her to the medical center. Yamada says she will tell her brother about Runa's ailments, but the girl is categorically against it. She says that then he won't let her eat sweets, and she hasn't eaten for this since last night. Akane realizes that the girl is just hungry and offers to buy something to eat. They go to get food for the girl and notice too many glances at themselves, which makes the girl uncomfortable, but the guy is already used to it. They run into a physical education teacher who is happy for the guy after seeing him with a girl for the first time. The teacher finds out that Akane is in college and laughs that Yamada likes girls older than him. Later, they both sit on a bench, tired of the schoolgirls' questions. Ida and Taksu join them with the things they bought for Runa. Akane complains to Ida about being tired because of Yamada's fans. Ida replies that they can be understood since she ruins the girls' hopes with her presence. He adds that they cannot avoid constant glances, so he suggests that the two of them start dating. Yamada agrees to the offer. Akane is shocked by the guy's response, blushing deeply. Ida calms the girl down, saying that this is a joke. Akane runs away in shame, angry at both guys. Ida thinks to go and make amends, but Yamada is already running after her. Akane thought about playing along and continuing the joke, but she blushed instead. They start to attract more attention and Akane takes them to a deserted place. Yamada apologized for the joke as he did not want to offend the girl. She apologizes for her behavior because she was embarrassed by his words. He comes closer to her and asks the reason for her embarrassment, but the girl asks not to answer him. She suggests to imagine that she did not understand the joke and seriously agreed to Ida's offer to date Yamada. She asked what he would do with it. When she doesn't wait for an answer, she quickly says that's why you can't joke about romance and hurriedly leaves. Yamada decides to answer that in this case he is afraid, because for him she is an unattainable prize. A few days later, Yamada goes shopping at the store where Akane works. The day before, she had specifically invited him there to meet. Akane's shift is already ending and she suggests Yamada wait for her and go together, to which he agrees. On the way, she admits that she wanted to give food as a thank you for fixing the laptop. Suddenly, the girl sneezes. Yamada is worried that she is ill. Akane confirms his fears and searches for the mask in his bag. The guy grabs the girl by the shoulders, saving her from a collision with a bicycle. Later, Akane and Momoko get manicures at home and discuss Yamada. Akane doesn't understand the sudden kindness from the guy. She is afraid that she will fall in love, whereas the guy was just being polite and did not have feelings for her. Momoko says that maybe the guy thinks otherwise, and adds that it's worth taking the first step on Akane. My friend is worried that Akane is constantly talking about Yamada, but not about himself. Suddenly, Runa calls with a request to meet, as there is a crisis in the guild. In the evening they meet at the playground. Runa says that a new girl has joined the guild, and she absolutely does not like it. Akane suggests trying to make friends with her, but Runa is against it. She is afraid that then Akane will stop communicating with her. Suddenly she has a plan. Runa says that the new Sigildi is Yamada's classmate, but he does not want to tell more about her. To find out more information, she gives Akane Yamada's phone number and offers to call and ask him about the new girl. At this time, Yukari comes to additional classes and asks Yamada and Takaki about the possibility of falling in love because of something ordinary. Takaki replies that she's asking the wrong people, since guys spend their whole lives at the computer. Yamada is not answering because someone is calling him from an unknown number. After class, Yamada decides to call the number and finds out that it is Akane. She says she can't speak right now because she's going to work, despite her illness. The girl says that there is no one to replace her, so they called her. After the call, Yukari asks for details about Akane. Yamada says that she is a member of the guild and they will get to know each other better soon. When asked about her appearance, the guy cannot answer because the girl constantly makes faces or dazzles with her beauty. Yukari asks about a guy's crush on a girl, but the guy ignores the question. The evil Akane is coming to take over. After starting to change clothes, the girl drops the phone. Picking it up, she notices Yamada in her contact list and is happy about it. However, she remembers that she never understood her feelings for him. Later, Akane calls Runa and says that her cold has worsened. Akane was completely weak and couldn't drink from a sore throat. After resting for a while, she decides to eat as she hasn't eaten since the previous day. She doesn't have the right ingredients and decides to go to the store. After falling off her bike, the girl remembers that it is possible to order delivery. She is too weak to put the bikes back, but Yamada helps her here. She thinks she's dreaming and faints from the fever, but the guy catches her. At this time, Yukari seems strange that Yamada does not come to meet them. Takaki assumes that he is with a girl and tells Yukari to finally confess to him, otherwise she will miss him. Yukari starts crying, saying that he already knows about it. She recalls that in her first year of study she met Yamada, saying that she played against him in shooting games. She asked to see how he played, as she considered him a cheater. By coming to him, Yamada showed his skills in business. In their second year of study, they were on duty in the classroom together when they talked about different things. Yukari said that because of the guy's lack of relationships, rumors started about him. He replied that he didn't care and he had never been in love. Then he told a story from his childhood. A classmate was bullied at school, and the teacher asked her to give some documents to the girl and then he became friends with her. He tried to be close to her as they stopped bullying her next to the guy. Yukari assumed that he had fallen in love with a classmate. However, the guy denied this and explained that he helped the girl only because of the teacher. The bullying continued and she transferred to another school. At the last meeting, he made her cry, which torments his soul and makes it difficult for him to communicate with girls. Yukari realized that it is better not to fall in love with such a guy, otherwise she will regret it. At this time, Yamada takes care of Akane, who has a severe fever. He asks her to drink water, but she refuses, spitting it out. He decides that things are really bad and takes her to the hospital. They put her on an IV, after which she gets better and Yamada takes her back. In the middle of the night, Akane wakes up and sees a sleeping guy with a book next to him. She opens the window to ventilate the room, not understanding what Yamada is doing here. He asks her to go back to bed and tells her that he took care of her while she was unconscious. He starts crying and thanking the guy for his kindness. She reaches out to hug him, but Yamada backs away. He steps on the book and hands it to the girl. She says that thanks to this book, she was able to survive the breakup. The girl adds that he doesn't understand this, but he still doesn't like breaking other people's hearts. Yamada says he's not as good as the girl thinks he is. The girl says that he now looks like her ex when he broke up with her. She says he was sorry and wanted to disappear at the same time. However, she considers it normal because there is no other way. A little later, Akane asked for food and began to eat yogurt with tears. Yamada thought that the girl was very tasty, but she explained that her throat still hurts. Suddenly, the girl feels that her leg is cramping and she begins to writhe in pain. Yamada removes the blanket to gain access to the girl's leg and help with the pain in her leg. She resists, but after that she feels better. He pulls out his hand, causing the girl to crawl back. But the guy picks up the spoon that the girl dropped and does not understand her confused look. The next morning, Momoko brings Akane's groceries and finds out that the girl is spending the whole night with a guy. She is offended because she believes that Akane is dating a guy, but did not tell about it. Akane replies that they are just friends and he helped her in a difficult moment. Momoko is surprised by the girl's luck and advises her to find the right moment before leaving. Later, Akane cooks himself a meal and goes about his business. She receives a message from Yamada, which she is very happy to receive. Suddenly, she receives a message from Ida, who writes that he misses her and offers to play together. She enters the game because she is tired of studying anyway and sees Ida and Yukari, the new player in the guild. Akane finds out that they are playing for the same class and offers to teach the girl. Next, they go to the boss battle, where the girls don't really cope, and Ida enjoys the game world, occasionally treating the girls. Ida suggests they change tactics and Akane perceives this as a call to quickly press the strike button. As a result, their characters ran out of steam and the boss left. Yukari admires how easy it is to find common ground with Akane. Later, Akane calls Yamada to find out how to defeat the boss and takes a couple of tips. Ida and Yukari continued to play together. Yukari admits that initially the game did not drag her out and she joined the guild for her own reasons, but now she does not understand what she wants. She says she doesn't have the courage to admit anything and gets support from Ida. He advises you to do what the girl wants because you can't expect courage. At this time, Akane has been talking to Yamada for several hours. He asks what she wants to ask him. The girl admits that she wanted to hear his voice and hangs up. With trembling hands, she makes an appointment with Momoko to discuss something. On the appointed day, they meet in a cafe. Akane asks the reasons for breaking up with her. Momoko is unhappy with the question and makes an order. She says that she has been waiting for this day very much, and the conversation is about her ex again. Akane asks to be listened to and says that he wants to move forward, but to do this, he needs to correct the shortcomings. Suddenly, two guys familiar to Momoko from a group date sit down with the girls. The girls ask to leave their company, but the guys stand their ground, offering to have a good time. A waiter arrives with a ready order and it turns out to be Ida. Akane sends a signal for help to a friend and he saves the girls from unwanted guests. Next, they thank him for his help. Momoko asks about the guy and finds out that he also plays games with Akane. Momoko admits that there are more handsome guys in the game than she sees on dates. Akane suggests continuing the conversation and for this they are waiting for the end of the shift at Ida. They go to the park, where Momoko speaks for Akane that the girl has fallen in love, but she does not understand why she was abandoned and it bothers her. Ida replies that she guesses who Akane is in love with and believes that there is no need to worry about the reasons for the breakup. Akane says that thanks to Ida and Momoko, she was able to get over the breakup and therefore asks for advice. Ida says that Yamada is a good guy and you need to be straight with him, so you need to admit it. He adds that if she is rejected, they will support the girl. When Akane left to talk about her feelings, Momoko decided to ask Ida if he was free. The girl runs to Yamada's house, remembering the moment when she fell in love with a guy. She is about to confess her feelings, but older people confuse her with their loud conversations. The guy closes the door, pushing the girl inside. He says he's in a hurry and suggests we talk on the way. Akane agrees to this option, and when he sees the guy changing clothes, he looks away in embarrassment. On the way, she thinks that now is not a good time to confess her feelings and she needs to choose another day. Yamada stops a girl who doesn't notice the cars in front of her because of her thoughts. He takes her hand, saying that she is not herself today. Yamada needs to go, so he apologizes and offers to talk about what the girl wanted another time. It rains after class and Takeki asks Yamada to walk under an umbrella. Takeki asks Yukari about the availability of an umbrella and suggests that the girl go with Yamada. Yukari refuses, but Takeki whispers to her that she should not miss the chance to go with the guy. Yamada is already thinking of giving the guys an umbrella, but Yukari decides to go with him. Halfway through the journey, Yamada decides to give the umbrella to Yukari in order to return home as soon as possible. The girl realizes that this is the last chance to confess her feelings to the guy and runs after him. She collides with a passerby and loses her glasses. Yamada returns and delivers the glasses broken from the fall. Yukari arbitrarily comes out with the word love. Yamada covers the girl with an umbrella. Yukari asks to listen to her. Akane receives a message that the guy will not be able to call her today. The next day, Ida asks Yamada about yesterday's declaration of love. Yamada does not understand from what source Ida knows about the recognition, but answers that it was. Ida says she knows everything and expected the guy to agree to a relationship. The guy says it's none of his business. In the evening, Yamada tries to call Akane, but the phone is not available. Then he comes to the girl for work. She is in a positive mood, as she always welcomes a guy. She jokes that the guy came just to meet her, but is surprised when he confirms her words. He says that the girl wanted to talk to him, but couldn't get through and so came to apologize. Akane replies that her phone is dead, and she is not offended by yesterday's incident. The girl notices changes in the guy's behavior and decides to talk to him on a neutral topic. She brags that she got a new outfit in the game, but she doesn't remember its name and decides to draw a sword on his arm. She also says encouraging words because she thinks the guy is a good person. This evening Yamada comes to meet Yukari. She says she woke up thinking that she didn't want to pretend anymore. The girl lists all the qualities she loves in a guy and says that her love for him is stronger. She starts crying and saying that it has become much easier for her. Yamada replies that he cannot reciprocate her feelings. She notices an Akane drawing on his hand and says she knows whose drawing it is. She says he belongs to the one he loves. The guy replies that it is. Yamada thanks her for her feelings and apologizes for not being able to accept them. She cries even more, but thanks for listening to her. She says goodbye to him, smiling through her tears. A few days later, Akane is going to a guild meeting at a restaurant. She is met in front of the establishment and Ida warns that Yamada is delayed. After going inside, Takeu says that this place belongs to his friend and therefore the men suggested going to this place. Suddenly, Takeu begins to be recognized by older people, his old friends. Akane wants to find out who Takeu is. Then they have dinner together, discussing the absence of 2 guild members. Suddenly, gifts are brought to them from Takeu's friends, who is embarrassed by the attention. While Akane is examining the bottle, Ida and Takeu exchange pleasantries. Takeu also says that he is grateful to the guys and hopes for further friendship with him. Runa supports the man, saying that she wants to play with the current members and is categorically against new people in their company. Ida says that changes will happen anyway and eats her piece of meat. Later, Yamada finally joins the guys. Akane hugs him from behind, saying that the guy came late. Runa says Akane got drunk and had to endure the girl's antics. Yamada takes care of the girl. He buys her the water she asked for, shouting it all over the street. Akane apologizes for his behavior and suggests writing about it in notes since he won't remember anything in the morning. He offers to escort the girl home as it is already late and takes the girl by the hand. On the way, her heel gets stuck in the paving stones. She apologizes for causing him problems. He takes out a shoe and, after exchanging glances, suggests that we continue on our way. He takes her hand again and leads her home. After saying goodbye, she stops him and asks him if he likes her. Yamada replies that he has been discovered. Yamada admits that he loves her and says that if the girl forgets about it, he will tell her again. Akane offers to call him tomorrow, as she thinks she dreamed it all. Yamada then hugs her and says he will call her himself, hugging her tighter. The next morning, he woke up and immediately called Akane. She answers the phone immediately, as she hasn't slept all night. While studying, she talks about the beginning of a relationship with Yamada. Momoko realizes that she remains the only one without a boyfriend. With these thoughts, she goes on a first date with a guy. She says she understands that the guy has exams coming up and that she will be supportive. However, the guy says he stopped listening to her after noticing her cute sharp fangs. The burden of responsibility fell off the girl's head. Yamada feels that the girl wants to say something. Akane would like to join hands, to which the guy fulfills her wish.